Hi, this is Michelle, and I just want to share a dream that I have in June 26, 2017, okay? And I don't know why I want to share this, but I want to share it with you, and so here it goes. So I had a dream that I was hovering over the White House. The White House. I'm not sure what White House, but it was the White House. And I just remember that I saw men with top hats, and they were like overweight with cigars and drinking, and they were laughing and laughing, and they were like rocking back and forth laughing. And then I do remember seeing a woman with a darker complexion, and she was in red, and she was dancing. She was a beautiful woman dancing around all the men. And I do remember that they had cups and they were laughing, but she would go and get closer and kind of lift the cup up so they can drink, right? And so she's giving them the drink, right, while they're laughing. They were not refusing the drink. They were laughing and with their cigar, but on the other hand, they have the drink, and she was just helping them drink. And she's just dancing, and all of a sudden her dress is not on, so she's on her birthday suit, and she was doing other stuff that I can't say because I have this little one here. Anyhow, so she's doing her thing, and then all of a sudden I feel like that my body's just moving forward out into the streets in front of this White House. The first person I saw was one man, and I feel like he represented all men, and he was buried from the chest down. And I feel like somebody was telling me, look at him, and I was looking at him. And I'm looking at him, and I can see his arms. He's like angry. He's trying to get out, but he couldn't. I almost felt like he was forcibly being restrained, and he couldn't. But I know that he was a man, like a manly man, tough man, And then to his left, my right, because I'm looking at them, I see a woman, and I knew that she represented all women. She was buried from the waist down. And so again, I hear, look at her, and I'm looking at her, and she was crying and crying, and she just, I almost feel like I knew that she couldn't have babies anymore, and she was just crying and crying. And then to her left, my right, there were 3 women buried from the neck down, and I'm holding the phone with my right hand. So these women, because I get distracted so fast. He's like, look. And so I'm looking at them, and they were crying, and as if I was being told that they were lied to. They were lied to. They were looking for love, but they found the wrong love, and there's no escaping it. And so I remember it was kind of disturbing the way I saw them, because they were trying to comfort themselves. So their heads were touching each other and doing other stuff. But I knew it wasn't meant to be that type of love. They were trying to really comfort each other, but they didn't know how to comfort each other. And then so, they were trying to hug themselves with their tongue, and they're trying to seek love, family love, but they couldn't find it. They found the wrong love. Anyhow, and then I went to to another part. Like, I was hovering over to the right of those women, and then I came over this building that looked like a hospital, because then the ceiling disappeared, and then I saw it was divided in 2 rooms, and in one side I saw a middle table, like a middle bed, and then on the left I saw a man in a doctor suit. He was a doctor or a scientist. And the middle bed I saw a child, and that child had 2 holes on each arm and on each leg. And I saw that they were looking at his blood cell at a cellular level. And I knew they were suffering. And I know that the reason they had to do those holes is so their veins can be exposed. And that's all I know about that. But when I saw that, I was heartbroken, because I have a child that when he was, I don't want to say the word, but when he got, that thing on the arm, he became very ill. He stopped talking. There was a lot of medical problems after that. And every time I would go to the doctors, it was, oh, there's nothing wrong with him. You want something to be wrong with him. I'm like, no, he's not talking. He's not looking at me. There's something wrong, because I have videos of him talking. All of a sudden he stopped. And then then I said, okay, fine. He's fine. Then when he goes to school, okay, something's wrong with your kid. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, well, what is it? The doctors say he's fine. You're saying he's not. So it was a very chaotic time in my life. That reminded me of that. So then I go to the room where this doctor or scientist is, right? And then I'm looking at him, and he's looking at the kids through those mirrors that it's a one-way. I'm not sure what it is, but it looks like a mirror on the other side, but through the other side you can see. Well, he was there, and he's doing this to his hair, and he's covering his face and drinking alcohol, and then so I thought to myself, this man knows what is going on, but he's not saying anything. So he's drinking to keep himself from hurting for the kids. I don't know. I just remember that I was looking at him. He's going all over the office looking at pieces of paper and then grabbing his hair, and then he's just drinking, and then he's just to the point where I saw him collapse on the floor. And so that dream ended. And then what I thought very interesting is the next day I was watching the news, and I saw that same man in front of the Senate testifying that those things you put in the arm are safe. Anyhow, that was that dream. Okay? Hi. Bye. God bless you. You scare me.